Long periods of time in space can lead to declining mental health in astronauts. The most marked alterations were observed for positive emotions, such that we saw continuous declines from the start to the end of the mission without evidence of a bounce back effect as participants were preparing to return home, via studyfinds.org. Houston. Long-term space travel could lead to a spiral into mental health problems for astronauts mired in loneliness, according to research carried out on isolated workers in the Antarctic. The study shows that after long periods of time, there was a lack of positive emotions and no bounce back effect, even when the workers were prepared to go home. Researchers say this could endanger future space missions, as positive emotions and hope are crucial to returning in a high-pressure environment like a spacecraft. Scientists from the University of Houston came up with a checklist for detecting mental health changes in isolated, confined, and extreme ice environments, and asked people working on 2 Antarctic stations to self-report their mental states. They found that positive emotions declined over the months, and as time went on, participants were less likely to use strategies to boost their mood. The most marked alterations were observed for positive emotions, such as we saw continuous declines from the start to the end of the mission without evidence of a bounce back effect as participants were prepared to return home, explains Candice Alfano, a professor of psychology at Houston, whose team developed a mental health checklist, MHCL, in a statement. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. She said previous research, both in space and in polar environments, has focused almost exclusively on negative emotional states, including anxiety and depressive symptoms, but positive emotions such as satisfaction, enthusiasm, and awe are essential features for thriving in high-pressure settings, she said. She said both the use of savoring, purposely noticing, appreciating, and or intensifying positive experiences and emotions, and reappraisals, changing the way one thinks about a situation, decreased during later mission months compared to baseline. These changes likely helped explain observed declines in positive emotions over time. Astronauts face a slew of challenges when it comes to mental health. Like the test subjects, astronauts who spend extended time in space face stressors such as isolation, confinement, lack of privacy, altered light-dark cycles, monotony, and separation from their families. At coastal and inland Antarctic stations, Alfano and her team tracked mental health symptoms across 9 months, including the harshest winter months, using the MHCL list, the checklist. A monthly assessment also examined changes in physical complaints, biomarkers of stress such as cortisol, and the use of different emotion regulation strategies for increasing or decreasing certain emotions. The researchers say that negative emotions increased across the study, but changes were more variable and predicted by physical complaints. Participants tended to use fewer effective strategies for regulating their positive emotions as their time at the stations increased. So they didn't even try to get themselves into a positive attitude, I guess. That's terrible. Anyway, they say here, collectively, these results might suggest that while changes in negative emotions are shaped by an interaction of individual, interpersonal, and situational factors, declines in positive emotions are a more universal experience in ICE environments. We observed significant changes in physiological functioning, but patterns of change for specific aspects of mental health differed, says Alfano. Interventions and countermeasures aimed at enhancing positive emotions may therefore be critical in reducing psychological risk in extreme settings. The findings were published in Acta Astronautica. This is from studyfinds.org, and it's unvetted reality. So obviously what they have to do is find some way to boost the positive and what can we say, the strengthening aspect of the human psyche. I don't know how they're going to do that in space, for example, especially with now all the space debris up there. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.